Welcome back to another Out of the Park 22 video. This is the first video in a series, an expansion series I'm doing. You can see I've taken over the Hartford Whalers at the end of the 2021 MLB season. So I simulated through 2021 and then expanded the league. I added the Whalers to the AL East and the Quebec Nordiques to the NL East. And yeah, so the reason I'm doing this is because I haven't done an expansion team in forever. I think I might have done one with like Out of the Park 19 or something. And I will say I did make the postseason my first year. But that might have been the only expansion team I've ever done in Out of the Park. I really am not even I had to look up how to expand the league. I couldn't even remember. So I thought it'd be fun to do an expansion draft with no research, no prep, no strategy. I'll basically just be relying on my normal roster building strategies and see how that goes for me. I'm sure you guys might be screaming at the screen at certain times with certain picks I might make, but just know I haven't even looked at who's available. I just went up to this expansion draft and clicked record. I also didn't sign any players. I offered a couple of minor league deals because basically they're telling me that I have $5 million or something. Where's the accounting? My player payroll. Well, somehow I have $14 million budgeted in my player payroll. So I guess you can just go over budget in the expansion draft. I don't really know. Again, something that I'm sure a lot of you know that I don't know because I haven't done this in so long. But here we are at the expansion draft. Looks like we've got the second pick. So let's go ahead and start the draft, and then we'll take a look at who's out there. I went with the default rules, by the way. So it's I think each team could protect 25 guys. You'd have 3 years of service time to be eligible. Oh, here it is. It's right here. And there's no limit on picks from a team. And there's 35 rounds. Do we want a snake draft? Nah, we'll just let Quebec have the first pick every round. We'll be nice. All right. So Quebec and Hartford, we're going to start the draft. Let's. Oh, and I did. Ooh, Aroldis Chapman. Wow. So a lot of relievers are out there. Okay. Well, that. Doesn't really interest me too much. What do we have in terms of starters? Oh my god. So this is the best starter out there. So it's going to be ugly, man. It's going to be real ugly. What about batters? Do we have even a good batter out there? No, we don't. Mike Zunino. I mean, he's a great catcher. Albert Almora is a decent defensive center fielder. Yeah, this could be slightly painful. Do we have a big masher out there? And not a major league capable one. All right, so this will be interesting. I did go out and make 2 changes to the coaching staff. I hired Darron Johnson. He was the best highlight favor tools guy out there, so I hired him. I also Arthur Shelby. That's me. I also hired Bruce Bochy as my manager. I'll go in and also replace some of these guys. Pitching coach and hitting coach especially, but I didn't want to get into that yet. So let's see who Quebec takes first overall. Oh, they took Zunino. All right, so they went with that catcher ability. So these are the things I want to check to see how kind of sparse they are. So let's go all batters and go with fielding ratings. Are there other good catcher abilities? So Ali Sanchez is out here. So he's a guy who I think we will probably take to be our catcher. He's a leader, high intelligence, 70 catcher ability. And then how about infield range? So we've got this guy who is not even a major league player, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a shortstop in this draft. 65 range isn't going to do it. I mean, Peraza could fake it for us for a little bit, but none of these guys are going to play shortstop. So then the last question is can we get a good center fielder? And there are a decent amount of guys out here with a 70 range. Keon Broxton, his bat just isn't going to cut it. Jankowski, he had a 60 WRC plus in AAA last year, so that's probably not going to cut it. Not sure who this guy is. This guy actually looks like a decent player because he's only 22 and he's not. I mean, he had a 111 WRC plus in high A last year. I don't know if he's going to be in the major leagues, but that's a guy who I'll keep my eye on. Dalton, I have no idea how the computer drafts in this, who they'll value or when they'll value them. Dalton Pompey was decent in AAA last year. He put up a 93 WRC plus, 70 range. He's probably going to be a guy we'll draft at some point. And last but not least, this is our starting center fielder. And look at this guy. He put up a 51 WRC plus last year. Wow. Yeah, I think that's our guy. 70 outfield range is hard to come by. Let's see who the scouting director recommends. A closer? No, I'm not drafting Edwin Diaz. Can you recommend a batter to me? That's not a terrible player. What if I wanted a catcher? Absolutely not. And if I wanted a center fielder? All right. So I'm not really seeing much value in my... Kyle Farmer's a good, versatile player, which will be good to have. But I think I'm going to go with... I'm probably butchering his name, but Carlos Toki. Sorry, I'm honestly not sure how to say it. All right, so we're going to draft him. All right, next pick by Quebec. Ooh, they picked Miguel Andujar, so they're going with the pop. See, I feel like I'll be able to get a player like this in free agency or trade or something. Like, no, he's below league average of the bat. He can't play anywhere too well defensively. I'm not that worried about him getting picked. So, you know, again, there's just really nothing here with the infield range that's worth reaching for at this point. I think at this point, I'll probably take Ali Sanchez. Yeah, leader, great catcher ability. Let's go ahead and draft him. All right, next. Oh, Quebec took Edwin Diaz. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I guess I see some value in that. Honestly, like the value in drafting some of these relievers might be trade value. That's not what I want. Let's go with pitching ratings. Yeah, I mean, you've got Chapman, Anderson, Canely. Like, all these guys might have decent trade value. Blake Trinan might have good trade value. Let's see who my scout wants me to take now. Aaron Sanchez. Aaron Sanchez is a decent starting pitcher for this crop of players. He's a ground ball pitcher, which I like. He pitched in the majors last year and put up a 7.02 ERA. Yeah, I mean, I think there's... Let me look at the starters real quick just to see who's out there. Like, who's your top stuff? Taylor Jungmann. He pitched in AAA and was pretty decent last year. You got Chase Anderson out there. Jeez. Yeah, there's Sanchez. Sanchez is one of the more consistent across the board in terms of his most important ratings. Kyle Dowdy looks like a decent, okay guy. Josh Lucas doesn't look bad. Yeah, I'll follow his recommendation and take Sanchez. I think it's important we get another starter. Quebec took Ryan Merritt, who is a starting pitcher going for that control. Love that. So let's see who my scout recommends next. John Lester. So he really wants me to stock up on adequate starting pitching here. Lester was actually pretty good in the majors. Looks like he ended the year in AAA, though, which is strange. AAA for the Diamondbacks. Oh, they signed him. So he's released by the Nats despite having 1.3 WAR in 20 starts. That's interesting. I mean, this guy is somewhat intriguing. He put up a 2.77 ERA. His FIP wasn't nearly as good. I think he'll be there later, though. I don't think I need to go for him yet. Are there any, just to make sure, are there any really good hitters out here that I'm, like, sleeping on? Like a really good contact hitter? Jonathan Daza is all right. Matt Beatty is a decent player, and he can play a bunch of different positions. I'm kind of intrigued by him, actually. Blankenhorn is not a bad player. Camargo. Dustin Fowler is a decent guy. Jose Martinez. How's he in this game now? Terrible in the field. That's a decent player. I like that Avoid K's a lot, but he was garbage last year in AAA. Can you recommend a batter to me, please, sir? Oh, he still wants me to take this guy. I don't know. He's got no defensive profile. I'm good. What do we have? We sort by I. First baseman doesn't really do much for me at this point. Got a bunch of first basemen here. First baseman. Rhino Hearn is a decent guy, but again, just so limited defensively. Brett Phillips, he's really good defensively, isn't he? Yeah. I kind of like this pick, actually. I know he's terrible, but his bat, he's honestly one of the better bats out there, and he's got a 65 outfield range, 70 arm, and a good work ethic. I'm going to take Brett Phillips. All right, who's Quebec taking? Taylor Ward, left fielder. That's a good pick. I like that pick. And he was good last year for the Angels in limited playing time. All right, so who's my scouting director recommend? Still Lester. Honestly, I'd probably take a reliever first and hope to trade him. Like, I think I'm going to take Nick Anderson and then try to move him after the draft. Let's do that. Quebec takes Kevin Gaddia. So he didn't pitch anywhere last year in the majors. All right, my scout would like me to take Genesis Cabrera. Yeah, actually, I would definitely take him. I'm surprised he's available. Why didn't he pop up? Oh, he's listed as a reliever. That's why he kind of like blended in with all the good relievers. But he's a starter. I mean, his stuff will go down, obviously. But yeah, I'll absolutely take him. That's a good call, Mr. Scout. All right. Quebec is going to take Jake Cave. Okay. It's a guy I was kind of hoping to nab later, but I'm fine. Still wants me to take Lester. I'm not going to take Lester, man. Probably still wants me to take that one batter. Oh, no. Now he's going Blankenhorn, which honestly, like, I can get behind this. Do these guys show up, like, on my roster? No. I wish they did, so I could, like... Do they show up anywhere? No. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, there's probably a place in here where I can look at it, right? I mean, there's a draft log, but, like, I want to look at my team by position. There's probably a way to do that, and you guys are probably yelling at me of how to do it. So I've got a center fielder. Let's see. Yeah, I should have mapped this out better, huh? I've got a center fielder, a catcher. Aaron Sanchez is a starter. Phillips is a outfielder. Anderson's a reliever. Cabrera's a starter. So I probably should look at some infielders. I haven't drafted an infielder yet. Can Camargo, is he at all? Oh, yeah, Camargo's okay defensively. He wasn't very good last year, but I think this is a good pickup because he can play multiple positions and he's got like an adequate major league bat, right? Like he can be in a major league lineup and not totally embarrass you. Although, is Joey Wendell good in this game? Yeah, actually, I like Wendell better, actually. Yeah, I'm going to take Joey Wendell. Quebec. Wait, what? Cedric Mullins was out there? Now, this is Cedric Mullins pre-breakout, right? You know, he put up a 71 WRC plus and .9 WAR in this 2021. So that's not like, oh, man, can't believe I missed Cedric Mullins. Kind of like this guy. All right, let's see who my recommendation is now. This guy, another reliever. Oh, but he's a starter. I like these, like, actual starters who are hidden as relievers that my guy keeps finding. I'm taking this guy, too. Quebec takes Victor Gonzalez, another starter guy who can start as hidden as a reliever. Next, we are recommending Mitch White. I like this pick, too. I kind of like our pitching, man. Like, this is a good pitcher. Now, his stuff is going to come down a little bit, but 3 pitches this good? Yeah, I like it. So let's go ahead and auto-draft for them. So they finally picked Lester. What round are we in here? This is round 10. I'm just going to take this guy. Nah, I don't feel the need to do that. Camargo's still out there. Almora is out there. Is Aquino like any good in this game? Can hit for power. Might not be a bad thing to have around. This guy who can mash the ball. I think Blankenhorn, honestly, is a good pickup. He can play so many places, and not particularly well, but his bat is like not embarrassing. Same reason why I kind of want to pick Camargo. His bat is not embarrassing. This is a good third baseman who was really good in AAA last year. Or he's decent in AAA, I guess I should say. Austin Dean. Greg Allen. How's Tim Beckham living these days? Not too well. Delano to Shields. Look at that speed. Causing all kinds of havoc on the base paths. Just like clicking on some guys that like I know from real life or that I know is like out of the park, decent out of the park values, right? I mean, I know more of these guys from real life, but just picking on the ones that I think might be intriguing, possibly, for what we're looking for. Tyler Naquin. Yeah. Oh, Steven Piscotty's out there. Decent hitter. Malik Smith. Nice gap power, if I cared about gap power. Tyler Wade can play a bunch of places. Forrest Wall. All right, I think I'm going to go with Blankenhorn and then chill on the outfielders for a while. They take Justin Williams from St. Louis. That's a good pick. Scouting director recommending Jungmann, who is a starter. He was actually the top starter. So, yeah, I'll pick him. He was like the top-rated starter, according to my scout earlier. So that was a good pick. I was kind of hoping this guy would hang around for a little bit. Looks like a decent bat. Scouting director recommendation. Another starting pitcher. No, I'm not interested in that guy. I'm really interested in Camargo. Not really interested. I'm actually interested in Camargo, I think, because he can play everywhere and he's a decent bat. So I'm going to do that. So that's the end of 13 rounds. Let's look at the draft log. Okay, so I just kind of want to go down the list here and like map out the plan for the rest of the draft, I guess, so to speak. Like just so I don't end up with like 8 right fielders and 1 infielder or something. So what I'm doing right now as I'm talking is I'm jotting down like a roster grid, which I should have done earlier to make this smoother. But okay, so Toki we took in the first round. Again, I know I'm butchering his name. And he's going to, I mean, he's probably our center fielder. Ali Sanchez we took in the second round. He's our catcher. Aaron Sanchez we took in the third round. And he's going to be a starter. And then we took Brett Phillips, who's probably going to start in our field. And then we took Nick Anderson, who's our relief ace, who we're probably going to trade. And then Genesis Cabrera, he's going to be another starter. Joey Wendell, where will he play for us? Probably second base, maybe? Yeah. I mean, I'd like a second baseman with better range, but beggars can't be choosers here. So we took, let me scroll down, Joey Wendell, and then we took Paredes, who I think will be a starter for us. And then Mitch White, who I think will also start for us. And then we need to go up here to go to the rest of the rounds. So Blankenhorn, yeah, I think he's probably our starting left fielder. And then Jungmann. So I've got 5 potential starters. Of course, you can never have enough, and you can put guys who don't make the rotation in the bullpen. So it's not as if I need to stop. It's not as if I need to stop picking up starters. So Camargo will be our third baseman. So right now, we have Sanchez at catcher. We don't have a first baseman. Wendell would be our second baseman. Camargo our third baseman. We don't have a shortstop. Outfield from left to right is Blankenhorn, Toki, and Phillips. Starting rotation right now, we have Sanchez, Cabrera, Paredes, White, and Jungmann, and then Nick Anderson in our bullpen. Yeah, I think shortstop's just going to be a bear, man. Like, I think it's just going to suck, and I think I'm going to have to trade for somebody maybe to get like a decent shortstop. Just because like there's nobody here that's like a major league player. I mean, I guess like we could pick this guy up, right, and put him in. He was actually really good in AAA last year. You know, just none of these. I mean, Kyle Holder, nope. Yeah, none of these guys are really going to be able to play. I mean, they're just going to be a gaping hole at shortstop if we use one of these guys. And then you get out of the 65 range, which 65 is already not ideal. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll pick some of these guys up to have like utility type guy. But there's not really like a solution here. I think I'll probably pick Ali Castillo, just because he's got the 65 range. The air isn't good, but he had a good year last year in AAA. I know that's not like going on much, but yeah, there's really no other option. So let's see who Quebec takes here. Chad Greeny Green. So they took another reliever. Who was the guy that said I liked? Ali Castillo. Yeah, quote unquote like. He wants me to take that guy still. I'm really not interested in him. So we're going to take Castillo. And for now, we're going to consider him our starting shortstop. Ooh, they took Tommy Kahnle. Let me get into this reliever goodness before we miss out on some of these guys. Like Blake Trinan, I'd like to bring him in, or Pete Fairbanks, bring him in. Britton, would like to bring him in. Let's do that. Let's go like try to load up on the bullpen, because I think, you know, we're going to want a good bullpen, but also I think some of these guys might have good trade value. Oh, Sheldon Noose. Okay. Scott wants me to take... Oh, Brett Honeywell is out there. The former top prospect, off injured. Yeah, I'm not going to take him right now. So I think I'll go lefty in the bullpen. I'll go... Well, Zach Britton's making $14 million. What's Trinan making? $9 million? Yeah, let's go Britton. Well, like what's... Diekman's making $4 million. I'm just thinking in terms of like being able to trade them later. Oh, actually, AJ Minter. I'm going to take him as a lefty, who I might be able to turn in some value. All right, so we've added Fairbanks, Castillo, and Minter. We really need a first baseman still, but I think, yeah, Matt Beatty is probably the guy to take here, I think. Matt Beatty. Sorry, I think it's Beatty. Because he can play multiple positions, and he's got a major league adequate bat. Austin Dean does too. Kyle Farmer's decent. There's still some decent players out there, to be honest. And by decent, I mean like they're not going to embarrass themselves. And at some point, I need to look at like lefty and righty. I have not even paid attention to that drafting. I'll get into that like when I get to my bench. I'm just taking best player now. I think I like Beatty the best, although I don't love that ground ball profile. He's a ground baller. Austin Dean's normal. Actually, I kind of like this guy, Brian O'Grady, who can play some first base. Yeah, let's bring him in. Oh, oops, it's Quebec's turn. Yu Chang, okay. All right, so we bring O'Grady in, who's kind of our first baseman, kind of an outfielder. So I'm going to stop the video here. We're through 16 rounds. We've got our starting 9. We've got our starting 5 at pitcher, and we've got 3 relievers. So the next, I'll do the rest of the draft next time, and we'll focus more on depth, and then kind of, and I know they do have, I guess I should know that they have the here, like what you have in your organization and your players, but they don't have them like lined up how I want them. Like the relievers aren't all relievers, etc. So yeah, and a bunch of these guys are on minor league contracts, I guess. So anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this draft so far. I'm sure I, as an expansion amateur, made some mistakes here, but again, this won't be the team that comes to opening day. We'll need to get like a better center fielder maybe, and definitely a better shortstop. But thanks for watching episode 1 of the Hartford Whalers. We'll be back to finish the expansion draft in episode 2.